get started. Welcome everybody to the Thursday, September 21 formal meeting of the Iowa City Planning and Zoning Commission.
September 2.
What did I say?
21.
September 1. Oh, sorry, thank you. I'm discombobulated still
okay.
in this room.
I just,
We'll start off with roll call. Mark, you want to start?
Mark Signs.
I was looking at the other Mark.
Billy Townsend.
Phoebe Martin.
Mark Nolte.
Susan Craig.
Mike Hedge. So we, everybody's present except Padron. Had you heard from?
She should be coming, I think.
Okay. We will try to remember when she comes in to note for the note taker her arrival. Next item up is item number 3, public discussion of any item not on the agenda. If there's any member of the public that would like to address the commission on an item not on the agenda, now is your opportunity. Please come up to the podium. Second call for public comment. We can always talk about anything. Okay. No public comments, so there's nothing there. We'll go on to item number 4. Under comprehensive plan and zoning code amendment items, this is case number CREZ 21-0002. The location is 5110 American Legion Road. This is an application for a rezoning of approximately 5.37 acres of county agricultural to county residential within Fringe Area B, outside the growth boundary of the city/county Fringe area. Ray.
Thank you, Chair. Ray Heitner, Neighborhood and Development Services. So here is an aerial view of the subject property in the county. You can see the white dashed line outlining the subject property. Here's a view of the property with the current zoning applied. You can see the current zoning is shaded kind of that apple green for county agricultural zone. There is quite a bit of the yellow county residential, pretty adjacent to subject property, just west and just south of American Legion Road.
Ray, if I could just interrupt just for a second for the minute taker, if they would note that Maria Padron is present also for the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Here is another map showing the subject property within the Fringe area. You can see the entirety of the property is in that purple shading for Area B outside of the growth area. Here's another map showing the location of the subject property within the greater context of Iowa City. You can see kind of circled kind of on the far east side of the area there. Same scale, this time with the Fringe area layers applied. And again, you can just see in that purple, that indicates Area B of the Fringe area outside the growth area. So some background on this application. It's a rezoning application for the county from county agricultural to county residential for all 5.37 acres. As was stated, it's in the Iowa City County 2-mile Fringe area. With that process, the city will make a recommendation to the County Planning and Zoning Commission, but ultimately the final decision on the rezoning falls within the county's jurisdiction. It's our understanding that the applicant for this rezoning intends to divide the land into approximately 3 single-family residential lots. Just kind of a refresher on the city-county Fringe area agreement. It's a component of the city's comprehensive plan. Applies to area outside of the city's jurisdiction that are not planned for in the city's comprehensive plan. Provides guidance regarding land development within 2 miles of the Iowa City corporate limits generally, and staff relies on the Fringe area agreement policies in reviewing rezonings in the Fringe area. Here is a look at the existing land use. again, zone county agricultural. There is one detached single-family residence. The rest of the property is kind of undeveloped, open space. Here's sort of a straight-on look to the north of the existing residence. And here's the land just east, southeast of that residence on the north side of American Legion Road. So the proposed rezoning again is the county residential. That zoning designation carries a minimum lot area of about a quarter acre with a maximum lot area of just under 2 acres, 1.99 acres. Looking at the context of the proposed zone, as was stated earlier, there is adjacency to a lot of pre-existing single-family development. So in that sense, staff doesn't view the rezoning request as out of character with the existing zoning or area. And here's an aerial just kind of contextualizing that last point. You can see that there's quite a bit of pre-existing residential development to the west, a little bit to the east as well. Even some kind of peripheral subdivision development just west as well. Here's a map showing the county's future land use map. Again, everything shaded in yellow indicates a residential future land use in the county's comprehensive plan future land use map. So with respect to the existing fringe area agreement, fringe area B outside the growth area, it does state that agricultural uses are preferred. So in that sense, the requested rezoning does not align with the fringe area agreement. That said, it does align with the county's comprehensive plan for future residential land use. And as I stated earlier, staff feels that the rezoning is in character with the surrounding area. And then just another note here, the draft land use policy direction for the updated fringe area agreement will be consistent with the land use policy direction outlined in the county's comprehensive plan and future land use maps. So staff and city and county staff are working on that updated fringe area agreement and hope to have a resolution on that soon. The role of the commission tonight is to determine if the subject rezoning should be recommended for approval to the city council. As I stated earlier, the city council will make a formal recommendation to the Johnson County Planning and Zoning Commission. In terms of next steps, after commission and city council consideration, the item will be brought before the Johnson County Planning and Zoning Commission. And with all that, although the proposed rezoning does not directly align with the policies outlined in the adopted fringe area agreement, staff is recommending approval of the application submitted by Axiom Consultants on behalf of Chris Lehman to rezone 5.37 acres of property located at 5110 American Legion Road, Southeast, in unincorporated Johnson County, for the following reasons. One, that the proposed rezoning is consistent with the county's future land use map and comprehensive plan. Two, as I mentioned before, staff is working with the county to update the fringe area agreement to resolve these conflicts. And then three, staff does not find that the requested rezoning would result in a use that would be out of character or context with the existing zoning and surrounding area. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Ray. Now is the opportunity for members of the commission to ask questions of the staff. I'll go ahead and start out. So Ray, since this is fringe area B, that means that it's not in the designated city growth area, so that any recommendation the city has is simply advisory upon the county, correct?
Correct.
All right. It seems to me in the last several years, this is probably the third or fourth rezoning we've done on American Legion Road. I don't know if that number is really correct, but that seems like American Legion Road is pretty much all residential now. And so that's sort of a long way to get to my question. When was the fringe area agreement originally executed? Because it seems like it's pretty out of date.
Well, the current version that we're working off of was executed in 2006.
Okay.
And I suspect some of those policies are carryover from a previous agreement. Would that have been like 97?
I think those numbers sound about right. I think
Yeah.
it was updated or amended, but the original one was maybe from 97.
Very good.
I might-
The original, this version of it was more or less adopted in 97 and then amended more recently in 05 or 06. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason I only bring that up is because of item 3, where it says out of character, is a use that would be out of character. I think the character of this area is residential now, after all this time period. So,
Sure.
long convoluted way to get to make that statement.
I have a question. Correct me if I'm wrong, but before the pandemic, we discussed requesting updating the agreement. Where are we at with that? I mean, that's been now years, which seems very strange, but. So
Yeah,
where,
I can take that question. We have been working with the county planners for several months on the agreement, and it actually went to the Board of Supervisors, their work session, I believe it was yesterday. We are going to ask the commission at their next meeting to set a public hearing for you guys to consider it at your first meeting in October. So hopefully this is the last one that you see under the existing agreement, and we'll have a new one soon.
great, thank you.
I have a question that's just for information, and when you think about future land use planning, and you see a map like this that has a pretty major street that has residential solidly along the whole side of it, how do you ever develop what's behind there? Because there's no way to get there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there's 45 houses lined up in a row,
I know on the south part, the south triangle, there actually is a lot reserved for a street to go through.
okay,
And I believe that's true on the north side also.
okay.
And we get that because we have had those rezoning requests for a couple spots on the south side of the road.
Okay. Because it just looks like, how can you ever go into the cornfields if, as we know, people want to do, if there's no way to get there? Okay.
Any other questions for staff on this application?
I have a question. So is the idea that the whole road is going to be eventually residential? All along the road is going to be converted into residential?
Yeah, that question would probably be better for the county planning staff. I mean, it's a possibility that it could be mostly residential, if not entirely. Our focus, I guess, in reviewing this application is just mostly tailored to this specific parcel. And,
Okay. And is the county planning on changing this agriculture into residential, or we don't know yet? What is their?
The land use vision, the county's land use vision that's shown in their future land use map, Ray, do you want to go to that?
Yeah, sure. Oops.
Is residential. So the map that you see here, that yellow, is their future land use map that shows this entire area as residential.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Now is the opportunity for the applicant or the applicant's representative to address the commission on this application.
Good evening, Mike Welch with Axiom Consultants.
Hi, Mike.
Nice to see you all in person again instead of via Zoom. I think as far as this application tonight goes, I think Ray and Ann did a nice job kind of presenting what we have. I guess I can give you a little update on kind of what's coming as far as platting. The developer, the property owner, is looking at maintaining a lot for the existing house and then just subdividing 2 other lots that are about an acre in size. They would each have individual septic and probably a shared well for those. but not a whole lot of plans beyond that, and just creating the lots right now. Not a lot of plan to develop anything denser than that or anything along those lines. And we are in the process of preparing that application to the county for the plat, so that should be going in the next month or so. I think we'll be in front of the county for rezoning and plat. But I'm happy to answer any questions any of you may have.
Any questions for members of the commission of Mr. Welch? Doesn't look like it, Mike.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Now is the opportunity for any other member of the public to address the commission on this application. I don't see either of our two other audience members coming forward. They're both shaking their head. So, seeing no one come up, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. I'd entertain a motion on this application.
Move approval.
Motion by Nolte. Is there a second?
Oops.
Second by Townsend. Discussion? I'll start off. Our action is simply advisory to the county. The flume there is clear this is going to be residential. I'm making this number up. Maybe Phoebe knows better. I bet we've had 3 or 4 rezonings on American Legion in the last several years, or they all blend together. Could be the last 5 years, 7 years. But I mean, this is just what's going to happen out there. So I support this rezoning.
I wish that the Fringe agreement were updated already, but this seems cut and dry to me. However, you know, I want everyone to continue to work in good faith.
Any further discussion on this application item?
Seems pretty straightforward.
All right. So we have a motion, Nolte, second by Townsend. All those in favor of this application signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, motion passes unanimously, which would be 7-0. Next item is case number CPA 210002. The staff has requested this be deferred to a date to be determined by the Planning and Zoning Commission to allow time for proper noticing procedures. Do you want us to come up with a date for this, or just defer the discussion?
I would recommend that the commission defer it to September 16th.
Okay. Is there a motion to defer this item till September 16th?
So moved.
Motion by Townsend. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Craig. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the motion passes unanimously. So the meeting is, this item is deferred to September 17th, what did you say?
16th.
16th. Thank you. Next item up is case number CPA 21-0001. A request to set a public hearing for September 16th, 2021 on a proposed amendment to the South District Plan. Is this you, Ann?
Yeah, and I want to apologize to the commission for both items 5 and 6. These were staff errors. The public hearing notices did not get sent to the newspaper for publication. So I take full responsibility for that. We want to make sure this is a legally noticed public hearing, and so we need to do it all over again. So we'd like the commission to set a hearing. We will give a staff presentation, and there'll be an opportunity for the public to comment on the plan again.
All right. Could I have a motion to set this public hearing for September 16th?
Can I ask a quick question? Sorry. So I actually will not be here for that meeting.
Okay.
I'm leaving again. Is this, can I do this over the phone? Otherwise, in my notes, I was going to request October 7th, but because this is obviously it's a big deal, so I just want to make sure if I can call in for that.
We
before.
can see if we can accommodate that, Phoebe.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Motion for October 16th? I'm sorry, September 16th, 2021?
So moved.
Motion by Science. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Padron. Discussion. For discussion, I would say is, I've been on this commission now for 7 years. I've been consistently impressed by the professionalism of the city staff in every regard. And sometimes these mistakes happen.
Stuff
It's really easy to forget to mail in a notice to the newspaper. I've done it myself, so this is a nothing burger. We'll just redo it.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you have to erase the public comment, that you got before, just giving
Right.
another opportunity for additional comment, so.
Excellent.
My question is how I'm trying to remember the second piece that we passed at the last meeting.
The zoning code item?
The zoning code item, that's a done deal, correct?
I think we have to do that again, because the
Oh.
reason that you guys recommended
Passed
approval
the
of that is because you recommended
Okay.
approval of the comp plan amendment.
Okay.
So we
Because
plan on
I
doing
thought that
both.
they were I don't
They
know
are
what word
separate
I'm going for.
items.
They were integral to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Further discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of setting the public hearing for September 16th, 2021 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the motion passes 7-0. Next item up, number 7, planning and zoning information. Ann?
No, my only update was on the Fringe area agreement, and I think we discussed that already, so. Minutes were not included in this packet because they weren't ready by the time the packet went out, so they'll be in your next agenda packet.
Any other comments for this item from members of the commission?
I have a question. I'm not sure if it probably should have been under the, under general comments. I was wondering if Mark went to the affordable housing committee. Is that the name? Affordable. You, Mark, represent us, right? And I didn't see any reports in this meeting or in the last meeting. And I know they had a meeting, right?
I was not aware of that.
Mark Signs,
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
who's Mark Sign?
the Affordable Housing Committee.
I'm still trying to learn the names.
With, which one, with the city or with the Affordable Housing Coalition?
No, with the city, the committee, the new committee.
They are, the last meeting was around setting up for public input sessions
Okay.
primarily.
Because in the housing commission, they receive a packet with, with the reports of that meeting. And I think you are a representative, so I was wondering if you went there and if you have anything to report.
The last meeting was pretty short because the primary purpose was to kind of outline the plans for public input sessions that they're going to get primarily in September. I think they're all maybe into October a little bit. So they've got a draft plan, but they want public feedback on it. And so they're doing and I can't recall off the top of my head at what time, what dates and what times they were doing those, but city staff will be leading those.
Okay, maybe we can include, next time there's a meeting, include those packages in our packet.
Okay.
So we can read everything, because I know that for the Housing Commission, they were requesting comments, that committee was requesting comments from the commission back. So one of the comments was about a zoning area, and I thought we should be sending comments about the zoning for the affordable housing. And then they're gonna and then that committee is gonna send input to the city council, right? So maybe if there's something that we need to talk about, so then Mark can let them know what our input is.
Yeah, I will say, I think most of the input that they are getting is on how funds should be used. So I don't think, I've seen the kind of the questions and surveys that they've sent throughout, they've gone, this other staff, it's actually a different division, have gone to different events to get input from people. They've had questions in Arabic, French, Spanish, and English. And a lot of it is kind of on what people's needs are, housing needs are.
Are those meetings, are those about CDBG funds? Are they for HUD funds, or are they about American Rescue Plan Act funds?
I don't think it's American Rescue Plan Act funds. I think it's the funds that we get for housing and that we have for housing with the city.
Yeah, the plan that's being worked on is is a city affordable housing plan, which would involve funds that we get for that purpose. I think there's been some discussion about some of the stimulus money and things like that, but it's primarily using the existing income streams.
Okay. All right. Any other item number 7, planning and zoning information discussion? Seeing none, motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I've got a motion, I think Maria was first, Padron, and second by Townsend. Discussion? I'm just writing here. No discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion is approved 7-0. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, I came to the right meeting.
Short and sweet.
We can make ET if we hurry.